Hi everyone, welcome back. This is my quick review of the TV show Boys Over Flowers. Let's go. Alright, where to begin? No, I'm just kidding. Boys Over Flowers is a classic K-drama. It aired back in the 2000s, I believe like 2008, 2009. And it is a high school drama. It's about a young girl, and she comes from like a middle class, poor middle class, like basically hardworking people. That's her family, and she, through special circumstances, ends up at a school for the rich and powerful. So for all the children of the elites of society, all those highbrow rich people, and she's the type of person who likes to stand up for what's right. And there is a group of the sort of richest, most popular boys in the school. They're called the F4. There's 4 of them. And they're a little bit of, they like to bully people. They sort of rule the school. And she stands up to them and sort of gets herself tangled in with specifically the main, like the head honcho of the F4, the main boy, and they sort of start a sort of hate at the beginning, but turns to love-hate, and then eventually, very much an enemies to lovers love story. It's just a high school coming of age sort of drama. There isn't anything like twisty or unusual in it. It's very classic in that format. I really enjoyed the characters. I really enjoyed a lot of the side characters, even though some of them were kind of over the top. I thought they were fun. The storyline is there isn't a word for it other than classic. Like there's no surprises. You know what you're getting into. You know you're getting into love triangles. You know you're getting into like parents not approving of your relationship. You're getting into all those sort of classic love tropes. They're all in it. For me, cons, I think the show is a bit dated, and that's not necessarily all a bad thing. I mean, on one hand, I think it's fun to watch shows that came out, years prior. There's an element of sort of, I don't know, flashback. Like you sort of enjoy looking back on the past sometime and reminiscing. I'm sure that Lee Min-ho greatly regrets his hairstyle choices in this show, and I'm sure some of the clothes, that sort of thing, is a little dated. And I assume that stuff has changed culturally since the show came out. It probably doesn't accurately reflect today's high school culture. But that's okay. It's kind of nice to be transported back a little bit. The only thing with why I say this is a con for me is some of the pacing of the show and some of the like style choices, especially in terms of the music. There's so many montages. There's so many flashbacks. Like every episode, there's at least 3 or 4 flashbacks to the episode before, like stuff that happens, and you're like, I just watched that like 20 minutes ago. I don't need to see a flashback about it, but flashback after flashback after flashback. And the songs were very repetitive, like you heard the same 4 songs every single episode, and some of them I was very sick of by the end and I would be happy to never hear again. So that I think could have been improved, and if you made the show today, you would obviously make different like directorial or writing choices so that wouldn't happen. Also, the first half of the show is very tightly written and I feel like is well paced, and then I'm suspicious that maybe because the show was so popular and doing well that they asked for extra episodes. And so the writers had to quickly like come up with material in the second half, because the show is 25 episodes long, which is too long. But the second half really feels bloated and unnecessarily so. Like you could cut like half of it out and it would still be fine. So if you're watching it and you find it sort of dragging in the second half, I would suggest just like zipping through or skipping and getting to the end where you actually know what happens, because a lot of it's just repetitive storylines. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I had a great time watching it. It's very campy and fun, and you know, if you just sort of take it as the lighthearted show that it is, I think it's well worth the watch. I would probably rate it maybe a 6 out of 10. I think it's a passing grade. I would not recommend it to anyone who has never seen a K-drama before. I don't think it's a good one to start with, because it might not get them excited about watching any other ones. But if you know someone, or if you're someone who does like a K-drama and wants to maybe, you know, you like some of the actors in it, you want to see some of their OG stuff, or you're just looking for some sort of like a fun high school drama, you know, it's good. It's classic for a reason. It's still popular for a reason. So I would definitely consider checking it out. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Bye.